Hello everyone, so in today's tutorial I want to show you how to migrate to a custom user model mid-project. So whenever you're working on a project and you expect that you might need or like a registration feature, so users can register perhaps with their email or via social authentication like GitHub or Twitter. Django recommends you switch to a custom user model as opposed to the built-in model. So, and sometimes you don't know that, and you start the project, you make the migrations, and you apply the built-in user model. And only later you find out that it's better to do a custom user model, and it might not be easy to switch. So, in today's video, I want to show you how to switch to a custom user model, as I said earlier. So what you see on the screen is we're going to be actually working on a real site built with Django.com. It's a simple website built with Django that highlights cool projects that people build with Django, so that other people can get inspired and then build something else. So, and what I want to do is add a ability for the users to comment and like, and add some basic social features. For that, I'll need to allow users to register. Otherwise, there's no way to, make everything secure. And I haven't done that from the beginning. Uh, and it's important to know that it's it's important to create the custom user model before you make your first migration. And since this project has been, there for a while now, I have made a lot of migrations. And so I need to follow a specific procedure to migrate to a custom user model, which is what we're going to do now. Okay, so I have this project open in my VS Code. Let's start by creating the environment. And see what. And by the way, so this process is pretty well described and argued on one of the tickets here. So it's been it's been opened 5 years ago, and the last modification was 7 months ago. And so I want to kind of combine all the steps in one ended video, and then I'll also write a quick post highlighting the steps. Essentially, one of the latest posts, does a pretty good job going through the process. I just want to centralize it all. Okay, so here's the website. And then let's see the admin. Here we go. So the authentication and authorization group in the admin. This is built in, and when we're gonna migrate to custom users, we'll have a separate field for all the users. Okay, let's get going. So the first thing you want to do is create the user app, and this is standard step. That's how you do it if you just starting from scratch. So users. Okay, so we have now a user app, and we need to create a model. Okay, so here what I'm doing is importing the abstract user class and the models class. And so what we're going to do is create a custom user. Yep, and it's going to extend the abstract user class, and we're going to specify the table name so that it doesn't conflict with the existing built-in auth table. If you don't do that, you might get an error. If you're doing it from scratch, you could hypothetically just do a pass, or you could add your own fields if you want, like date of birth or age or something like that. So we're not gonna bother with this now, but it's easily extendable, so we can do this in the future if we want to. Okay, so we save the model. Now let's okay, can you consistent use of tabs. I think it's fine. And then we'll also want to make it show in the admin. So we're going to edit the admin.py so it shows up in our admin. Okay, so let's see why it's not working here. I'm not sure. Hold on. So let's go. What's the next step? The next step is to register our app. Again, it's very similar to what we do if you're starting from scratch. So you have to register the app, the new users app, the installed applications. So we'll do users apps dot users config. Okay, and last but not least, we want to tell our application, what model to use for users. Users, and then the model is custom user. This should be good. Okay, we're done with step 2. Kind of registered our users application, users. So the next step that you want to do is you want to replace all the built-in imports with the custom imports. So what this means is that if you ever import like this from Django contrib models import user, you want to replace it with from users.models import custom user. Since I haven't done that, I don't really have to do anything here. Right, so next, what you want to do is you want to delete all the migration files. So the migration files are stored when you run migrations. So for example, one of the app is projects here, and you can see that it's being recording all the changes that I make to the database. So the initial one, then maybe I'm adding a field, and so on and so on. You just need to delete those, so it's gonna like overwrite it and then make it like a fresh new from scratch one. It's all clean. Yeah, so for that, I could do it manually. You could just do it all manually, but we'll do a handy command here. So this will delete all the .py files in the migrations folders and all the folders in migrations folders, and which is not in the .py. Boom. And the second one, we'll just remove all the pyc files. Cool. Now that's step complete. Now let's actually run the migrations. Well, not migrations. Let's make migrations. Okay, so you can see that all our migrations in all their existing apps, including the users app, has been created. Great. And we are not going to migrate them right now. What we need to do is first we need to truncate, or in other words, kind of delete the migration, the records in the Django migrations table, which is stored in your database. So in my case, you can see that I'm using the DB SQLite3. So I'm using SQLite3, but it's pretty much the same for whatever database you're using. And I understand that most of the users will probably be using the Postgres. So here's what you do. For me, I'll just do the built-in SQLite3, and then I open up the SQLite3 database. What you would do is you would probably type in something like Postgres hyphen u, and then your username, and then hyphen p for your password. Oh, sorry, for hyphen d for your database. It'll prompt you to open up to enter your password, which you'll do, and then you'll just enter your database. And then from there, it's pretty much the same, except that some different SQL databases have different language. For example, SQLite does not have a truncate function. It will just have to be a drop from table. So, sorry, delete from table. So I'm just going to delete everything from Django migrations. You'll probably have to do truncate from Django migrations. Let's do that. Then that's it. Quit. Boom. And one last step is to apply fake migrations. Sorry, not to apply fake migrations, but rather to apply migrations, and then we want to fake it so that it kind of overrides. Okay, so for that, I'll do Python manage.py migrate and fake flag. All right, and that is basically it. Now let's test it. Python manage apply run server. I'm just going to reload this page, and then hopefully you will see that this kind of moves over here. Let's see. Oh, yes. The good thing is that I didn't show you before. I only had one user, which was the super user, and it wasn't removed. It was migrated with the actual migration, which is the whole point of this, is just to migrate without losing any users. That said, you want to make a backup copy, or just copy. If in case of SQLite, I can just copy that database, just copy the file just in case, so that we can restore it later. With Postgres, you might have to do like a freeze, where you kind of save the whole database as like a SQL file. So just be careful. And that's it. Now we have a custom user, and should be good to go. Thanks for watching.